Joining me now, Washington Free Beacon reporter John Levine. John, great to see you here today. This reporting is pretty incredible, and it's somehow also shocking but not surprising. Who do you think told these firefighters to stand down?
Well, it's great to be here too, Will. And I mean, from my reading of the LA Times article, it strikes me as a sort of garden variety incompetence and a garden variety negligence, which unfortunately is very, very common in these Democratic-dominated one-party municipalities, places like Los Angeles, where they haven't had a Republican mayor in a generation. In places like that, you often see the most qualified people not given these kinds of jobs, and the jobs for overseeing fire, many different other areas, are given to people who maybe are somebody's nephew, or they're not necessarily qualified for the position or for DEI reasons. And that's all well and good until the tide goes out and you see who's not wearing a bathing suit. And unfortunately, in this case, that was the fire. And as you saw, firefighters were told to stand down. And we don't know all the facts yet, and I'm sure the various investigations ongoing will tell us that. But we have to remember the mayor of LA, Karen Bass, was in Africa at the time of this blaze. She was on some sort of a vacation. So there was top to bottom incompetence. And it reminds me actually of a generation ago we saw in New Orleans right before Katrina with Mayor Ray Nagin, where everyone there was in positions of power where they didn't really deserve it. They weren't picked on the merits. And then there was a hurricane and thousands were dead and no one knew what to do. And you're seeing a very similar thing play out in LA right now.
It is incredible. You're absolutely right. We can survey the landscape of these natural disasters, and everywhere you look, you will see incompetence. And yet then there is, if not incompetence, the nefarious afterwards to offload blame on something as abstract, something that serves as a boogeyman here on Halloween as climate change, to cover up that incompetence, to blame for the fires.
I mean, it's such a ridiculous premise. Wildfires have been occurring on Earth for thousands and thousands of years. And I think to just say climate change is responsible for this, and it just shows, and same for hurricanes they do this with all modern problems. And it's not true, and it's just a boogeyman, very appropriate for Halloween. And wildfires will continue to happen in California regardless of what we do to address alleged climate change. And it's just, they're using it as a cynical ploy to advance a pre-existing agenda that they've already had, and it's very sad to see. But also not surprising to see.
Not surprising, and perhaps also not surprising, there's been no accountability in California. Let's not understate exactly how devastating this fire was. 12 people killed, thousands of homes burned down, people displaced all across the country, not just Southern California, as they moved to places like Texas. And the mayor is still in office. The governor is looking for higher office. He's looking to be president of the United States.
Right. Right, and I'll just say, Will, it's been so disheartening to see when the flames hadn't been put out yet, in certain quarters of that city and that state, people gleeful at the chance to rezone these areas and gleeful at the chance to reimagine the Palisades and reimagine Los Angeles, and talking about how we need more affordable, we need more green, all the various buzzwords. And I know a lot of people in that part of California who say to me, and I don't want to get conspiratorial, but they say to me, a lot of people had designs on the Palisades. A lot of people had designs on this part of Los Angeles before the fires. And then you see firefighters being told to stand down when there are flames still smoldering. So there are a lot of very important unanswered questions.
All right. Thank you, John Levine. Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.